everyone, welcome back. This is Denise, and today I'm going to paint an abstract piece here on this with one color and then mark making. And I thought what we would do is globs of color and kind of let it granulate and do what it's going to do. So I'm working on a half a sheet of the Bao Hong Academy watercolor paper. So I just took one of these big 10 by 15s and cut it in half. And I'll use the other piece for something else. And I want to play in the granulating watercolors, and I've got a Masha's color that's really beautiful. It's a shadow turquoise, and I thought, ooh, that one might be fun to play in because kind of depending on where we look, there's this brown and a turquoise in it. And so thinking that might be fun to play with that color there. So I've got that color out, and I got a big brush, and I'm kind of feeling like maybe I'll do big splotches of color possibly and then drip some color in it. So maybe I'll grab a second brush too. And I might put some of this color out here on my watercolor palette just to kind of have some variations available. And be ready. So I'm going to set that right there. And it's just kind of an idea I had in my mind. It might not work out at all, but I was just kind of thinking maybe. So this is a Princeton Neptune quill number 6, and that was a number 12 round that I had there. But I'm kind of wanting enough water in my paintbrush to actually make, actually leave a puddle. And so and it might be leaving enough, and it might not. And I could go ahead and try to dip some water in there and even see what I got. To see, did I even get enough water on here to kind of do what I was thinking I wanted it to do or not. Might actually, now that I'm kind of doing this and thinking about this, it might actually be easier just to have some color on here rather than clear, because it's kind of hard to even see where that's going. And I can always add more on top of it. Not nearly as uniform as I was thinking, but still kind of interesting. And sometimes it's in the crazy shapes that you get stuff that you love better anyway. So let's just go ahead and create some more. My goal here is not perfect shapes. If your goal is perfect shapes, definitely take more care to make exact shapes, but that wasn't my goal here. My goal here was more like interest and granulation and just kind of having fun seeing what the watercolors can do, just doing a whole piece in one color. So just kind of having some fun here. But we could come back, and actually make exact shapes, or you could be more careful in the way that you created. But because I created them all going this way with this brush, that's how I got some wonky edges and some fun different shapes there. And what I could do too that might be kind of fun, let me just rinse that out a little bit. We could even drag our end of our brush through these and make some like connecting lines. No other reason than it's just fun. And you got to do some of that while it's still wet, so that you got something to drag around. And I can see some of the brown that we're pulling out of here, which, that's super cool. Okay, that's really cool actually. It's a tiny bit different than I was thinking with the wonkiness, but I like the wonkiness, so we're gonna ride the wonky wave. Ride the wonky wave, we're crazy. All right, we're gonna let this dry and do its fun granulating, and then we'll come back and do some mark making, so I'll be right back. All right, I think we're mostly dry. I'm just gonna make sure, now that I've let it sit and granulate for a while. And now we have like some fun areas and different things that we can look at and pull out of there. And maybe just draw some fun, interesting marks on here. And I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna pull out the Copic Acryla pens, because there's a lot of colors. Is that the white? There's white. I like the gold, so it's a nice okay gold. And I'm kind of thinking that I could actually pull out the Uni-ball Signo also, which I like, in the white and the gold, so that's some choices. You could do this with some silver, and the Copic Acryla has a pretty silver. I do kind of like this teal. Is that teal or is that black? I think I got paint on there. There's a teal. So I could do some maybe teal. Alright, so just getting some choices out here. And now I'm just going to mark make on each of these and just see what we can get. Maybe I'll start with the white and just see like what interesting mark making can I do on each of these. And even though I got out the Acryla, the Uni-ball Signo is so easy and lovely. I feel like I need some brighter gold. So I'm gonna pull out my Kuretake paste and my my ink brush, and I think I'm gonna do a few. These are ink blending brushes, but I think I'm gonna pull a little bitty one so that I'm not all over the place with the great big one. This was one with little multi-sizes that I'd found on Amazon. But I feel like I need like some, this is the Punchinella, the little bitty one that I like so much, that you can get usually in the ribbon department at the fabric stores. It is sequin waste, basically. Ooh, that's exactly what we needed. I like it when you pull it and you get that pop of just right. I love it. That's exactly what I wanted. Just that little pop of loveliness. Okay, that's super fun. That gave us a pop of like some super shine. Might have been off camera there for a tiny bit of that. Sorry about that. I can zoom back out. And then we can just kind of take a look and see, is there anything else left that we need? Anything else that I want to do? Got two that are plain. I don't want to leave them plain. So I could either come back in with a little bit of white, because there's no white on this row. Ooh, that might be it. Let's just do that. Just a little something on this one. So I might just come back in with this blue Copic Acryla. This is called Peacock Green. That's appropriate. Lovely. And now I just need to decide, do we want anything else? Any little marks, any little movement? I kind of like what we have going on there. It's kind of interesting and different. Got some pretty shine in there. Lovely little, let's just see what we got. Let's just do it. Let's just see if we're there for today. It was just about experimenting, picking a color. I like the ones that granulate because then you get separations that are really cool. Playing with different mark making pens and just seeing what fun marks can you make in each one that's a little different, and then just seeing what we can come up with. And I love this teal. This kind of aqua teal color is my favorite color. I love this color. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Oh my goodness, so pretty. All right, that was super fun. Oh yeah, cool, fun, a little abstract. Lots of little mark making going on in there, something a little bit different in each little wonky splotch of color. I love how this turned out. Oh my gosh, great paint day. All right, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today, and I'll see you guys next time.